I do know that you and Richie, I think you met like in the late 80s and you answered an ad in Melody Maker.
Yeah.
Do you recall what the ad said?
It was a weird advert, and I'd answered another advert for another band, and I was that close to getting into that band. They'd sent me all their material. We were chatting, and I really loved their songs. And I noticed Richie's advert in the Melody Maker, but it said we want 2 drummers, 2 guitarists, 2 bass players. And I thought, what's that about? You know, but I thought, all right, well, it was in East London. So my dad actually, I was only 16, maybe, yeah, I think it was 16. So I jumped in my dad's car. He took me all the way down to Bethnal Green from Watford in rush hour. Crazy. Went up to Richie's flat and met him. And I just thought, you know, he looked really, really good. He looked like a star, you know, what I was, my sort of image of a front man.
What was his hair like back then?
It was all kind of like a bit like Japan. Do you remember the band Japan? It was all like a flick and it was all lacquered and, you know, sort of Durrani. Yeah. We were proper 80s. I mean, seriously, he had these little kind of pixie boots on and I did. We just looked very sort of similar. He had better hair than me. But anyway, and I thought he looks really good. And he played me a song and I thought, oh, you know, I like some of these. And, but yeah, the weird thing that put me off is that he wanted 2 drummers and, you know, I don't know how
was that Adamant thing or something? Or?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think they had this kind of concept that they wanted to do such a sort of varied type of music. They wanted to do pop. And then he said, if we want to go and do reggae, we can get another drummer in to do the reggae stuff. And I was like, no, I'm not feeling that at all. So that put me off a little bit. But anyway, so it was between that and the other band that I was really into. And it was almost like that. Which one do I want? Which one should I go for? Which? And anyway, so Richie held these sort of auditions and that down in a studio in Holloway, and he sort of said, you know, do you want to join me? Do you want to crack on? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. You know, and that was it. By that time I was about 17, so I was driving.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how that sort of came about.
Fantastic. Did you click on any specific bands? I know you've always been like a big Gary Newman fan. I think it was his drummer. Was it Cedric Sharpley?
Yeah.
Caught your eye as a drummer. Where was Richie coming from at the time, and where did you kind of meet in the middle?
No, not Gary Newman. I can promise you that much. I mean, he had a pretty extensive record collection, proper vinyl collection, but it was all it was pretty eclectic. It went from sort of Michael Jackson to Nick Kershaw, funnily enough. There was lots of Duran in there, Spandau and all that. You know, he'd really immersed himself in all the 80s stuff, and a massive Beatles fan.
Right.
So, you know, pretty eclectic. And I appreciated that. You know, I mean, I just like pop music. I do like very, very sort of dark electronic music as well. And I do probably personally, I lean towards stuff that's probably a little bit rockier and darker. But I'd also love a pop song. So, you know, it's a weird kind of contradiction there. But, yeah, so, you know, he certainly didn't have any Gary Newman. And funnily enough, when I went down there, I was a bit worried because I had going to a Gary Newman concert that evening. I think it was 1989. So I went all the way down to see him, and I was thinking he's going to keep me here, and he's not going to think I'm keen enough because I've got to go because I'm going to be late for this concert at Hammersmith Odeon. Anyway, it worked out all right because he said, "Right, I'm off to see my girlfriend," and he elbowed me out the door.